Welcome to Hushyrest, a quiet corner for a deep, peaceful sleep. Tonight, we are leaving the noise of the modern world behind to explore the silent corridors of an ancient mansion. But before we begin our journey with midnight, if these stories help you find rest in this little corner of the night, please consider subscribing and giving this video a like. It is the best way to support this channel. Now, let the world outside fade away and just begin. Imagine a house that has been waiting for you. Its walls are thick, built of heavy gray stone and covered in ivy. Inside, the air is cool and smells of cedar wood and old books. The wind is beginning to pick up outside, but here, within this wall, you are perfectly safe. In this hidden corner of the world, everything is still, everything is quiet, and the journey is just beginning. So, adjust your pillows, put your blanket up until you feel that perfect weight against your skin. This is your cozy nook, just like the thick velvet drapes of the mansion. Your room is now a shield against the rest of the world. As you lie there, imagine your body is becoming as heavy and relaxed as the old oak furniture in the house. Your feet heavy and still, your hands resting and soft. Visualize the thoughts of your day as if they were leaves being blown by the wind outside the mansion walls. You can hear them rustling in the distance, but they cannot reach you here. You are in the hallway of your own mind now. Up to breathe with us. You are turning off the lights one by one. Take a long, slow breath in. And as you exhale, feel your shoulders drop away from your ears. The heavy wooden doors of the mansion are opening now. The floorboards are waiting for a gentle touch. Let's join midnight as she begins her exploration of the great entryway. Look at the moon. It's so big tonight, casting that silver glow over everything. It's a gust of light piercing through the thick, dark clouds, and there, in the middle of it all, it's midnight, a small, dark shape in this huge, cold night. The rain is just falling hard. It's that freezing rain that stings where it touches you. You can almost feel it, can't you? Cold droplets hitting her sleek fur, making it heavy, soaking until she feels the chill right against her skin. Her coat is dripping, weighed down by the storm. You can hear her paws squish, squish, pressing into the wet, soft mud as she walks down the empty street. There is no one else out here, just the water and the wind. She's just looking for a place to hide, a corner where the wind can't reach her. The wind, it sounds like it's crying, doesn't it? Like restless spirit moving through the tall trees, mixing with the heavy sound of the water hitting the pavement. Midnight is shivering. You can see her small shoulders tremble. Her little heart is racing every time the thunder rumbles far away, a deep, low sound that shakes the ground. Every step she takes leaves a tiny puddle behind, like a little mirror reflecting the cosmic moonlight. She stops for a second, shaking her head to clear the water from her ears. Her whiskers twitching in the cold air. She's tired, so tired. And then she sees it, rising from the mist. There is a massive old house, a Victorian giant standing in the dark, like a ghost from another time. It looks so heavy, so silent. The wood is dark, weathered by the 100 years of storms like this one. Its windows are like empty eyes watching the rain, deep and mysterious. It looks intimidating, yes, but the silence coming from inside feels different. It doesn't feel cold. It feels like a warm velvet blanket waiting for her. Midnight stops at the entrance. Her ears are moving back and forth, listening to the wood creaking and the house groaning under the weight of the wind. The house is breathing with the storm, but she is done with the cold. She explores the perimeter, her wet fur brushing against the old stone foundation, until she finds it. A gap, just a small gap between two old. They grew boards under a broken window. It's just enough for a silent traveler like her. She sleeps inside, and suddenly everything changes. The window creaks behind her, but the sound is muffled now, distant. The heavy damp curtains inside block out the world. The roar of the rain turns into a soft hum. The stillness hits his hair like a warm bath. It just washes away the chaos of the storm. Midnight stays very still on the wooden floor. She doesn't move. She just breathes. Can you hear it? The house is so quiet. She starts to smell the history of this place. It smells like old oak wood, like dust that had settled over decades. It smells like time. It has the scent of earth and memory all mixed together. Her whiskers move slowly, feeling the change in the air pressure. The air here is thick, as if it's holding onto something. The sounds that were scary outside, the creak, the groans of the wood, they feel different now. They don't sound like a threat, they sound like a lullaby. The floorboards under her feet, the old hinges in the door, they are just whispering to her, welcoming her. She feels the cold stone and the dry wood under her paws as she takes her first steps, exploring this new corner. She isn't running anymore. She is gliding. She walks through those empty halls, her tail moving slowly, like a clock marking the seconds of a time that stopped long ago. The shadows on the wall are dancing, moved by the moonlight that filters through the dusty glass. But look closely at those shadows. They move in a strange way. They don't just follow the light. They seem to have their own rhythm, like soft memories of people who once loved this room. Gentle, slow, and peaceful. It's a private ballet performed just for her in the middle of the night. Midnight is starting to understand this house. Its secrets are hidden in every corner, in every whisper of the wind against the roof. She stops at a tall wooden door. She tilts her head, listening. She can hear her own heart beating, and it's starting to match the rhythm of the house. Thump, thump, thump. She feels a strange calm now. It's settling over her like a soft, heavy quilt. The storm is still out there. We can hear it, but it's just a muffled rumble now. It can hurt her here. It's far, far away. Midnight's eyes are wide now, adjusting to the dark. She can see the shapes of old furniture covered in white sheets, like silent giants sleeping. She smells the old velvet of a chair that has been waiting for someone to sit in it for years. There are so many memories in this air, but there is also so much peace. Sometimes midnight stops. She looks. into an empty corner, her eyes following something we cannot see. She purrs softly. It's as she feels a gentle hand brushing over her ear. The ghost of a touch from someone who used to call this place home. The house isn't empty, you see. It's just full of moments that didn't want to leave. And they are glad she is here. They are glad you are here. Midnight is settling in now. She is moving deeper into the heart of the house, toward the library. The darkness isn't a scary place anymore. It's a comfort. It's a soft energy that pulls her in, telling her that she's safe, that she can finally rest. Midnight moves a little deeper into the mansion now, leaving the hallway behind, and she starts to feel a change in the air. Outside, the storm is still crashing against the stone, but in here, the smell of wet air and ozone starts to mix with something new. It's a fragrance so delicate, it's almost tickles her mouth. Like the house is whispering promises of secrets that haven't been told in long, long time. It's the scent of old paper and those heavy letters beaming that have lived here for centuries, just floating through the air and calling to her, pulling her into the very heart of the house. With every single step she takes, the smell gets stronger. Midnight's ears perk up, following the trail, navigating toward a tall door that groans just a tiny bit as she pushes it open with her head. And the other side, this massive, cavernous room opens up, a space filled with rows and rows of towering shelves, reaching up into the dark ceiling like old sentinels guarding ancient knowledge. The air in here feels heavy, thick with dust and that beautiful, musty smell of paper that has aged with grace. Midnight is walking across a very thick, lush carpet now, and she can feel her paws sinking into the softness. The silence around her is almost solid. It's an energy from another world, vibrating in the stillness. But if you listen closely, the way she does, you can find a hidden melody in that quiet. It's a very soft shh, a sigh from the house itself, as if the walls are breathing in and out in a perfect, slow rhythm. In the middle of the library, Midnight finds what she was looking for. There's an empty bookshelf. Nothing left but the faint scent of dusty letter. But it's not the emptiness that stops her. No. She looks at the walls, where the moonlight is streaming through the tall windows and creating something magical. Ethereal silhouettes, books made of shadows, their covers and their pages glowing with a soft, liquid light. Midnight's tail twitches. She's curious. She pads closer to the nearest shadow book. It looks like it's open, and its pages are rustling with a quiet whisper that only her sensitive ears can catch. And, as if the house can feel she is there, the shadow book begins to turn its pages, revealing pieces of the text that dance across the wall, like fireflies on a summer night. That sound, that shh of the house, it gets a little louder now, harmonic with the gentle rustle of those glowing books. It's a silent symphony. While you rest, the shadow books keep turning their pages, showing us glimpses of a story that haven't been told yet. That light, it feels, it's calling to us, inviting us to take one more step to explore this mystical world living inside this wall. But for now, we're just going to stay here, enjoying the serenity surrounded by whispers of ancient tales. Midnight is still there, entranced in this sanctuary where time feels like it's just stopped. Her ears are moving, listening to that symphony, waiting. What secrets are hidden behind the next shadow book? Is it a story of love, or maybe a mystery that's been waiting for someone to find it? Will you join Midnight on her next stop? Let's see what wonders are waiting for us behind that door hidden right there, just behind the shadow bookshelf. We continue with Midnight now, leaving that wooden library and its shadows books behind. And you can feel the air shifting again. The smell of old paper and leather is fading away, and it's being replaced by something new, something gold and damp. You can almost smell it right now. That subtle mixture of ancient marble and deep, earthy undertones of the ground beneath the mansion. It's as we are descending into a place that's been hidden for centuries, a secret kept by the very roots of the house. The air grows thick with a silence that feels heavy. As we make our way down this long stone stairway, with every single step we take, the whispers of the past grow fainter, until everything is just stillness. Midnight balls click on the marble steps, creating a soft, rhythmic echo that bounces off the walls and disappears into the dark. It's a clean sound, a sound that fits perfectly with this ancient, empty space. As we reach the bottom of the stairs, the library is gone. There is no more wood, no more desk. Instead, we are standing at the edge of something that takes your breath away. The whole column stretches out before us, a vast expanse of a classical Greek architecture that feels timeless. Midnight pauses for a moment. Her ears perk up, taking it all in. The space is so huge that the silence itself seems to vibrate. The columns rise up into the dark, silent sentinels, their fluted surface glistening softly in the light. Some stand proud and unbroken, while others lie scattered on the floor, half buried into the dust of centuries. It's as if time itself claimed them, leaving only fragments of a story that will never be fully told. You can feel the weight of the history pressing down on the stones, but it doesn't feel heavy in a bad way. It feels like a lullaby. But it's not just the columns. There is an oculus high up in the stone ceiling, a circular window to the sky, and the moonlight is flittering through it. It creates this perfect silvery spotlight, dancing across the broken straits and the pieces of marble on the floor. It feels like we're walking among the remains of a world that was forgotten, a world that only whispers its secrets to us on the wind that grows through the cracks. Midnight bats deeper into the hall, her paws clicking out a steady beat on the cold marble floor. The sound echoes off the columns, creating a haunting melody that seems to match the slow beating of our own hearts. It's a reminder that even in this deep stillness, there is movement, there is life. Imagine the scent of the ancient time rising up from the stones itself. It's a subtle, earthy aroma that speaks of centuries that have long passed. We move deeper into the hall now. Midnight is right by our side. The moonlight cast long, dark shadows across the floor, creating a sense of depth that feels endless. But it isn't frightening, no. It's quite the opposite. It's as we are being drawn into a world that is both mysterious and beautiful, a corner where nothing from the outside world can reach you. Look at the columns, they seem to grow taller with every step we take. The air is filled with that sense of history, tale of civilization that was lost a long time ago. Midnight pauses for a moment, her ears twitching as if she listening to the stories herself. You can almost hear them too, can't you? It's a soft murmur, like the brush of silk against the stone. There are fragments of marble everywhere, carved capital, pieces of art that were once perfect. Time took them away, but even in ruin, there is a hidden strength, a beauty that tells us that even when things change, something strong remains. As we continue this journey through the hall, notice how the moonlight dances across the stone walls. It creates an ever-changing pattern of light and dark, making it feel like the stones themselves are alive, whispering secrets to us that only the night can understand. Midnight stops, her tail moving slowly as she looks around, and then she finds it, a large, broken capital, the top of the column that fell long ago, worn and moved and soft by the years. With a tiny mew, Midnight bats over it too, and she curls up on that worn marble surface as if it were her own personal pillow. The moonlight casts a silvery cloud over her fur, highlighting the patterns of her back coat. You can see how she blends into the shadows, becoming one with this ancient space. She isn't a stranger here. She belongs to the silence. The moonlight keeps dancing on the walls, wrapping us in a soft, silvery blanket. We are wrapped in this silence, in this forgotten corner, as midnight curls up and her eyes start to close. Let your own eyes grow heavy. We are going to join her in this deep, restful sleep, surrounded by the beauty of this ring that time decided to keep for us. Sleep now, rest in the stone, rest in the peace of this place. As midnight reaches the top of the spiral staircase, the atmosphere changes. The air here is different, still, but not empty. It carried the weight of centuries, a scent of aged cedar, dried lavender, and that peculiar, sweet smell of old paper that seems to cling to the very walls of the mansion. She steps onto the long runner of the second floor hallway. It's a deep, faded burgundy carpet, its pile worn thin in the center from generations of footsteps, but still soft and plush under midnight's sensitive paws. She stops for a moment, stretching her front legs forward in a long, luxurious arc, her glove briefly catching in the wave of the fabric. There is no rush here. This part of the house, time doesn't tick, it simply rests. To her left and right, the walls are a gallery of life lived long ago. Huge, ornate frames made of dark oak and glazed plaster lined the corridor. Some of the wall leaf has chipped away from over years, revealing the red clay beneath, giving the frames a textured, antique glow in the dim moonlight. Midnight begins to wander down the hall, her tail swaying in a slow, hypnotic rhythm. She approaches to the first portrait. It's a tall painting of a woman in a silk dress, her hands resting on a velvet book. Midnight leans in, her whiskers twitching as she investigates the bottom of the frames. A thin layer of dust has settled there, fine, grey, soft as powdered sugar. As midnight breath disturbs it, a few tiny moths lift into the air, dancing lazy in a stray beam of moonlight. They swirl in slow circles, rising and falling with no particular place to go, eventually settling back into the stillness. The hallway seems to breathe with her. As she pads further, the floor beneath the carpet offers a gentle musical creak, a low wooden note that vibrates through the soles of her feet. It's a sound of welcome. The portrait seems to observe her progress with a kind of silent companionship. Their eyes, painted with delicate strokes of oil, have a soft, glassy sheen. They aren't cheering. They are watching over the house, keeping a vigil that midnight now shares. She stops by a heavy, velvet wrapped window. The fabric is thick and cool to the touch. Midnight patches her head behind the curtain, feeling the heavy weight of the velvet brush against her fur like a firm, comforting hand. Behind the drape, the glass of the window is cold. She watches the silver rain streaks racing down the pane, crossing each other in intricate, unpredictable patterns. Outside, the world is restless and wet, but inside this gallery, midnight is cocooned in a sanctuary of silence. She emerged from the curtain and noticed a small, stray thread hanging from the edge of a tapestry. With a curious paw, she bats at it, not with the fire of a kitten, but with the slow, deliberate grace of a creature who has all the time in the world. The thread swapped back and forth, a tiny pendulum in the heart of the mansion. Further down the hall, Midnight finds a low marble top table. On it sits a porcelain vase, empty now, but still carrying the faint, blurred ghost of rose from decades past. She circles the legs of the tables, feeling the cool smoothness of the marble against her side. The texture is a sharp, pleasant contrast to the warmth of the carpet. She finds her favorite spot now, a small, tufted ottoman upholstered in a faded blue velvet. It sits right in front of the portrait of a large, sleeping hound. Midnight jumps up, her landing muffled and soft. She turns in three low circles, kneading the velvet with her paws, feeling individual fibers give way and then spring back. As she finally settles down, tucking her nose under her tail, she looks one last time at the hallway. The gold frames glimmer, the dust motes have stopped their dance, and the shadows of the portraits stretch long, thin across the floor. The mansion is at peace. The history of this place isn't a burden, it's a blanket. It wraps around her, and it wraps around the room, muffling every sound until only the heartbeat of the house remains. Her eyes begin to close, the heavy lids falling in sync with the slow, breathing beat of her paw. The portraits remain, their silent smiles a promise that it will be here when she wakes. But for now, there is only the softness of the velvet, the scent of the lavender, and the deep, unwavering stillness of the gallery. The transition is absolute. As midnight crosses the threshold from the hall of portraits, the world of dry goods and ancient paper vanishes, replaced by a climate that feels alive. The air here is heavy, velvet-like, and thick with the scent of life. It's the smell of fertile air, of roots drinking deeply, and the intoxicating, honey-sweet perfume of night blooming jasmine that hangs suspended in the humidity. She pauses at the entrance, her paws meeting a new texture, moss-covered stone. The stones are large, smooth river rocks, cool to the touch but softened by a thin, emerald carpet of mauve that feels like damp velvet between her toes. She takes a moment to adjust, her whiskers twitching as they pick up the microscopic vibration of the rain drumming against the glass high above. This is the glass conservatory, a cathedral of iron and light. The sailing arches far overhead, a skeleton of dark green metal holding hundreds of individual glasses panes. Outside, the night restless. A summer storm has taken hold of the valley, and the rain is no longer a drizzling, it is a persistent, rhythmic force. It pounds against the glass with a steady, percussive beat. Tap, 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 creating a wall of white noise that makes the interior of the mansion feel miles away. Midnight looks up through the translucent ceiling. The sky is a deep, breathed purple, occasionally illuminated by the flicker of distant lighting. The lighting isn't sharp or frightening. It's a soft, diffuse glow that turns the entire room into a silver dreamscape for a fraction of a second before fading back into the comforting gloom. She watches the water on the slanted glass. The rain doesn't just fall, it organizes itself. Tiny droplets merge into the larger ones, creating silver rivulets that race each other down the panes, tracing zigzag paths like shimmering ribbons of mercury. She begins to walk deeper into the greenery, to a creature of midnight size. The conservatory is a sprawling jungle, giant firs arc over the path, their fronds delicate and feathered, swaying slightly in the draft created by the cooling glass. She passes a massive monstera plant, its waxy, heart-shaped leaves larger than her entire body. A single drop of condensation has gathered at the tip of a leaf, growing heavier and heavier, stretching into a perfect crystal sphere until, flip, it falls, disappearing into the dark soil below. Midnight is drawn to the textures. She reaches out a single black paw, her claws retreated, and gently press it against the leaf of a rubber tree. The surface is cool, thick, and incredibly smooth, like polished leather. She leaves a tiny, temporary print into the mist covering the leaf, watching as the humidity slowly erases her mark, returning the plant to its pristine, glistening state. She wanders off the stone path and into a cluster of hanging orchids. Their flowers are pale, ghostly whites and deep magentas, dangling like jewels from the iron rafters. Their scent is subtle there, a hint of vanilla and spice, mingling with the more grounded aroma of damp bark and wet clay. Midnight closes her eyes for a long moment, simply breathing, with every slow inhalation. She feels the moisture in the air coating her lungs, a cool and refreshing sensation that seems to slow her heart rate even further. Her tail moves in a slow, lazy arc, occasionally brushing against the terracotta pots that line the walkway. The clay is rough and porous, holding the warmth of the day's vanished sun. She finds a small puddle on a stone tile, not from a leak, but from the condensation of the room's own spread. She leans down, the pink of her tongue briefly touching the cold water. It tastes of a minerals and rain. Midnight finds herself moving slower now. The rhythm of the storm has become her own rhythm. Every step is deliberate. Every blink is a loud, heavy curtain falling over her golden eyes. She isn't just walking through the conservatory. She's becoming part of the stillness. In the center of the room, surrounded by a ring of ancient lemon trees, she finds her destination. It's a large, circular wicker chair, forgotten by time. The wicker is a pale, weather gray, woven into intricate patterns of loops and diamonds. It holds a single, oversized cushion made of brick, cream-colored lime. Midnight jams. It's a soft, effortless leap, As she lands, the quicker give a small musical groan a try, wooden sound that settles into comfortable silence. The cushion is even softer than it looks. It's softened with down, and as midnight sinks into it, the fabric rises up around her sides, crowding her like a nest. She doesn't lie down immediately. She sits for a moment, watching the star through the glass walls that surrounded her. From this vantage point, she can see the silhouettes of the great oaks in the garden, tossing their branches in the wind. They look like giants dancing in the dark, struggling against the elements. But here, inside the glass, not a single hair of midnight's coat is disturbed. Tis in the heart of the storm, yet tis perfectly dry, perfectly warm, and perfectly safe. She begins to knit the linen cushion. Push, pull, push, pull. Her paws work the fabric in a rhythmic, hypnotic motion. She can feel the individual threads of the linen, the slight roughness of the natural fiber, and the incredible softness of the padding beneath. This is her ritual of safety. As she knits, a slow rumble begins in her chest, a purr so deep and steady that it vibrates through the wicker chair into the very air around her. Finally, she turns in a circle, once, twice, and then curves into a tight, black velvet ball. She tucks her nose under the silk of her tail, creating a private world of warmth. Her ears, usually so alert, now only twitch occasionally at the loudest clap of thunder. But even those sounds are muffled by the thick glass and the lush canopy of leaves. The rain continues its song. It's a lullaby written in water and iron. Tap, 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 tap. It promises that the world outside can stay outside. It promises that the garden will be green and bright when the sun returns. But for now, the sun is a distant memory. There is only the silver moonlight, the scent of jasmine, and the heavy, wonderful weight of a leaf. Midnight breathing settles into a shallow, even peace. Her body relaxes, muscle by muscle, releasing all the tension of her long exploration. The darkness of the conservatory is a soft, emerald blanket. The distant lightning flashes one last time. A pale blue flicker through the misted glass, but midnight doesn't see it. She's already drifting, sinking, falling into the deep, quiet garden of her dreams. The house is still, the garden is safe, and midnight is home.